Outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Detroit Lions.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Cousins to throw it. Open here, Adam Thielen. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 39-yard line.
Jahan, what I need? Two. I'm going to run you over. Hey, Jahan.
To throw, Cousins. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 41-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Jared Davis in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
For the hard. Hey, no, easy. 44, Mike, 44.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, able to record his 5th sack of the season. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner.
You're 15.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to pump the ball. They've done so with that first run.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And now look at him go. He's at the 50. 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, 95 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
From the 29, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A first down throw for Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for first and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Catanzaro's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Stafford. And he rifles one incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson. But now it'll be 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line.
Michael, step! 280! Watch the run! Drill right, 22! 55,
Stafford on first down. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
First down, Lions.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
It's a gain of 5.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
A gain of 14. First down, Detroit.
The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Set. 40 got. 180.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Like 22 is coming. 22 is coming.
Throwing on second and long. Stafford. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one.
And they got him behind the goal line. Cook goes down for a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down. Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call into question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, and that takes us from second to third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
40 got. 40 got. 55 to mine. Check 55 to mine.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jarrett Davis has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Cousins gives way to Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working out of the gun. Cousins going deep for Diggs. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Everson Griffin has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
It's just me and you. Hey, check 20. Real right, 22.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Joker.
On 2nd down, Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
A 54-yard attempt.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Check. Hey, watch the slant.
Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Stafford. And he finds Parker here, complete. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
And the Lions first down.
Hey, I'm waiting. Like 7. Here we go, D. Monday. Here I come again. Hey, Delta. 55. Come on, boy. You back 20.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 42 yards out. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Taken from just outside the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. Here's Madison running on 1st down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to the ground. This time Cook. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Again, it's Cook. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, no touchdowns, but field goals, field goals, field goals. Another one. He's now hit 4, and that's all we've seen, kickers.
You know, the points on the board still count. Doesn't matter how they're scored, right? And we give these guys a ton of grief, don't we? Are they real players? They're real players when you need those points on the board, aren't they? And that's what we've seen in this game.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 2nd and 1, Stafford. They'll get this one to Galladay. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Faking to give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To the air again, Stafford. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Well, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go.
From the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Looking downfield for Jones. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Now Stafford. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
A gain of 14.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They will run it. It's McKissick. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Wait, 80.
54 Mike. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
From the 50, Stafford. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a pass hauled in downfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
You think you won't get this? Show it up. Show it up. 22.
They'll run with McKissick. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. On first down, Stafford here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Hey, Charlie.
Throwing on second and long. Stafford, he'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Lions on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be third and forever. Operating from the gun. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
And the Lions first down.
If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. On first down, it's Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Stafford on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. This complete to Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Mike, 55. Right there. Hey, Foxtrot.
Stafford. His throw incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They snap it to Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And no, it's incomplete. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the lead now up to 14. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for him. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Again, it's Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Throwing is Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Parker unable to get that one, but now it's 3rd and goal. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are back within a single score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Hey, team 6. Team 6. 51, Mike. Mike 51. You ain't going nowhere. What's that?
Here's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Cook, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished, but to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Vikings,